In 1848, America was a young nation, eager to expand its reach. California, a distant land on the Pacific coast, was still largely unknown. But on January 24th of that year, everything changed. James W. Marshall, overseeing the construction of a sawmill for John Sutter, spotted something shimmering in the American River. It was gold. News of Marshall's discovery spread slowly at first, like whispers on the wind, but soon, those whispers became a roar. Men, driven by dreams of striking it rich, abandoned their homes and families, risking everything for a chance at finding their fortune. The California Gold Rush had begun. The impact of this discovery was immediate and profound. California, once a sleepy outpost, was suddenly thrust onto the world stage. The promise of gold acted like a magnet, drawing in a tidal wave of humanity from across the globe. The first wave of gold seekers were mostly Americans, arriving from nearby states and territories. They came on horseback, on foot, and in covered wagons, their eyes fixed on the prize that awaited them in the golden hills of California. The journey was arduous and fraught with danger, but the lure of riches proved irresistible. As news of the gold strike spread beyond America's borders, a wave of international migration followed. From China, from Chile, from Australia, and from every corner of Europe they came. A diverse tapestry of humanity united by a common hunger for gold. The arrival of so many people, in such a short span of time, transformed California's landscape and its society. What had been a sparsely populated region, dominated by vast ranches and sleepy villages, was rapidly becoming a land of bustling boomtowns and makeshift mining camps. Towns sprang up overnight, their populations exploding as word of a new strike spread. San Francisco, a small trading post of a few hundred souls, became a teeming metropolis almost overnight. Its harbor, once quiet, was now choked with ships from around the world, their decks laden with fortune seekers and the supplies they needed to survive in this new and untamed land. Life in the goldfields was harsh and unpredictable. The work was backbreaking, the conditions often squalid, and the threat of danger ever present. Competition for gold was fierce, and disputes were often settled with fists or guns. But amidst the hardship and the lawlessness, a vibrant new society was taking shape. People from all walks of life, from every corner of the globe, were thrown together in a melting pot of cultures and ambitions. The old rules and social hierarchies of the East Coast seemed to melt away in the face of this shared pursuit of wealth and opportunity. The impact of the gold rush was not confined to California. The news that gold, a precious metal long associated with wealth and power, was flowing from the western mountains, sent shockwaves through the American economy. The demand for goods and services in the goldfields was insatiable, creating a surge in economic activity across the nation. Farmers in the Midwest found a ready market for their produce, textile mills in New England hummed with orders for clothing and blankets, and iron foundries in Pennsylvania churned out tools and equipment for the mines. The gold rush also spurred technological innovation. The need to transport people and goods to California quickly and efficiently led to the development of faster ships and spurred the construction of the Transcontinental Railroad, a feat of engineering that would connect the East Coast to the West Coast and transform the American economy. Section 5. New ways to move money. The influx of gold into the American economy had a profound impact on the nation's financial system. Before the gold rush, the United States operated on a decentralized banking system, with hundreds of different banks issuing their own banknotes. This lack of a uniform currency made financial transactions complex and risky. The discovery of gold in California, and the subsequent flood of the precious metal into the economy, highlighted the need for a more stable and centralized banking system. In 1863, in the midst of the Civil War, the National Bank Act was passed, creating a system of national banks and a national currency backed by gold. This new system brought much-needed stability to the American economy, paving the way for the economic expansion that would follow in the decades after the Civil War. The gold rush, though driven by the pursuit of individual wealth, had inadvertently led to a significant strengthening of the nation's financial infrastructure. Section 6. Law and order in the Wild West. The rapid population growth and the lawlessness of the goldfields presented a unique challenge to law and order. With thousands flocking to the goldfields in search of fortune, the region quickly became a melting pot of diverse cultures and backgrounds, each bringing their own set of rules and expectations. In the early days of the gold rush, vigilante justice was often the only law in the land. These self-appointed enforcers took it upon themselves to maintain order, often through swift and brutal means. Mining camps and boom towns were rough and tumble places, where disputes were often settled with fists or firearms. The lack of formal legal structures meant that personal grievances could quickly escalate into violent confrontations. As the gold rush progressed, and as California transitioned from a sparsely populated territory to a state, efforts were made to establish a more formal system of law and order. This transition was crucial for the region's stability and growth. Courts were established, law enforcement agencies were formed, and attempts were made to regulate the mining industry and bring some semblance of order to the chaotic goldfields. These institutions played a pivotal role in shaping the future of California. The establishment of law and order, though often tenuous and imperfect, was essential to the development of California. It laid the groundwork for a more structured and civilized society. It provided a framework for resolving disputes, protecting property rights, and ensuring a degree of stability that was essential for economic growth and the development of a more settled society. This foundation allowed California to evolve from a wild frontier into a thriving state. Section 7. The changing face of California. The gold rush had a profound and lasting impact on both the environment and the demographics of California. The massive influx of people, driven by the relentless pursuit of gold, led to widespread deforestation, severe erosion, and significant pollution. Rivers were diverted and silted up, forests were felled to provide timber for mines and housing, and mercury, used to extract gold, leached into the soil and waterways, causing long-term environmental damage. The gold rush also led to the displacement and decimation of California's indigenous population, who had lived on the land for centuries. Native Americans, who had lived on the land for centuries, were often pushed aside or driven off their ancestral lands by the arriving gold seekers, leading to a loss of their traditional way of life. Many were killed in conflicts over land and resources, while others succumbed to diseases brought by the newcomers, which they had no immunity against. The gold rush, while a period of great opportunity and economic growth for some, came at a high cost for others, particularly the indigenous populations and the environment. The environmental degradation and the displacement of indigenous peoples are a stark reminder of the often unforeseen consequences of rapid economic development. The legacy of the gold rush is a complex one, marked by both progress and profound loss. Section 8. A Nation Transformed. The California Gold Rush was a pivotal event in American history. It led to the rapid settlement of California, transforming it from a sparsely populated territory into a state. It spurred economic growth and innovation across the nation, and it played a key role in shaping the nation's financial system and its infrastructure. The gold rush also helped to solidify America's identity as a land of opportunity, a place where anyone, regardless of their background, could strike it rich if they were willing to work hard and take risks. This image of America as a land of endless possibility continues to resonate today, drawing immigrants from around the world who are seeking a better life. The gold rush also left an enduring mark on American culture. It inspired countless books, songs, and films, capturing the imagination of generations with tales of adventure, hardship, and the elusive allure of striking it rich. Section 9. The Gold Rush. A Legacy in Dust and Dreams. The California Gold Rush was a time of great upheaval and transformation, a period that forever altered the landscape and the destiny of the American West. It was a time of greed and violence, but also a time of great hope and opportunity, where dreams of striking it rich drew people from all walks of life. It was a time when fortunes were made and lost in the blink of an eye, and when the American dream seemed tantalizingly within reach for anyone willing to take the risk. Today, the physical remnants of the gold rush are fading, slowly being reclaimed by nature and time. The once booming mining towns are now ghost towns, their buildings crumbling into dust, silent witnesses to a bygone era. The rivers, once choked with gold seekers, now flow more or less freely, their waters carrying only memories of the past. But the legacy of the gold rush lives on. not just in history books, but in the very fabric of modern American society. It lives on in the spirit of innovation and entrepreneurship that continues to drive the American economy, echoing the relentless pursuit of success that characterized the Gold Rush era. It lives on in the diverse population of California, a testament to the waves of migration that shaped the state, bringing together people from around the globe. And it lives on in the American imagination, a reminder of a time when anything seemed possible, a time when the glint of gold in a California river could spark a national obsession and change the course of history forever.